Welcome back. You're still tuned into Midcap Radar on CNBC-TV18. Well, there has been an attempt to recovery, but we'll have to see whether that sustains or not, or whether we'll see a pullback from current levels or not. So let's welcome Bala of CashTheChaos.com for a technical check on the markets, and more importantly, what are the levels to watch out for as well. Jay, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, as Rima and I were discussing, the 16,850 mark that was broken today, the low for today is 16,828. We have seen some recovery from those levels. Will this sustain, or will we see a pullback from these levels?
Hi, Sonal. Yeah, this market has got much more downside to work with. I've been saying that on CNBC for quite some months now. And the fact that markets clocked fresh 2023 low, that's just, not much of a surprise for me. So the only question is how much downside the market has got. And are there going to be, intermittent bounces, or are we going to go directly down towards important support levels? So I had to point out that the September 30th low of 16,747, that's where the market is targeting. That will stay for a bit, but I don't see the markets holding that support for long, and that will also give way. So, the only question for me in the extreme short term is that, are we going directly to 16,400 to 200, or are we going to see a bounce to 17,000 and then take out that important supported September low of 2022 last year?
What was the low again that you expect to hold? 16,000?
16,747, which is the September 30th low of last year.
Okay. And once that is breached, we may try and defend it for some time, but in your assessment that markets are likely to break it and head lower, when that happens, then where do you think the next important support is?
Yeah, there are short-term supports at about 16,400 to 200. And I think the markets are going to see an acceleration. From a 1 to 4 day time frame, I don't know what the market is going to do. But from a time frame beyond that, say a couple of weeks, I think the support that will get broken. Once that's broken, the significant support is only at 15,183. The minor supports are at 16,400 and 16,200.
Okay, and according to you, for those levels, which would the sectors which would contribute, or which sectors that you think will be in focus on the downside?
Yeah, there are no major leaders for the market, and I had pointed out last week that pressure is going to come from banks, IT, and Reliance. And Reliance has clocked 2180, which is also the 2022 low. So that's going to be very important for the overall market. Reliance should not close below 2180. It's extremely critical. That can put a lot of pressure on the market. So watch out for that level. And to your question of sectors, I think it's going to be banks. Banks are going to contribute big time. It's not because Credit Suisse is happening today. I've been pointing out that banks are going to put pressure, and it just so happens that we're getting news on international banks falling apart.
Jay, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining in. Jay has been bearish in the markets for a very long time. Even when the Nifty had gone to levels of 18,000, at that time he maintained that, these levels are not going to stay and the markets are going to crack, and crack it has, and how. Currently, we are again back at 16,860 right now. So that, mini bounce that we have has been sold into. Let's slip into a very short break. We'll keep tracking the markets. But on the other side, we will also be joined by Pradeep Kheruka, the chairman of Borosil Renewables.